Good evening and welcome to We the People. Should a mentally challenged woman whose baby has been conceived in rape be allowed to go ahead with her pregnancy? It's a complicated question, especially when you consider that in this case, the IQ of the woman in question was found to be that of a 9-year-old child. However, the Supreme Court believed that the pregnancy must not be terminated. It in fact overruled a High Court order that had said that the pregnancy should be terminated. The woman, whose identity we will not reveal for obvious reasons, is now going to have a child, with the Supreme Court saying rather ambiguously that somebody else will have to look after the child. On the program today, we're debating whose life is being upheld in this case and other cases like this one. Disability rights activists have called the judgment a landmark judgment towards the inclusiveness of disabled people into the mainstream. But several other people are extremely worried about the kind of precedent this could set on issues of abortion as well as the reproductive rights of women at large. So those are some of the issues. Remember, you can also send in your feedback, not just via SMS, but via Twitter as well. If you're on Twitter, you can just send your comments to me. My Twitter handle is @bdutt, and we'll be running those comments through the length of the program. I want to start with Renuka Chaudhary, who has, of course, been the Minister for Women and Child Development. In fact, the lady in question was raped at a Nari Niketan during your tenure as Minister, Renuka. First thoughts, you know, you're a mother, you're a politician. You think of this woman, it's a tragic story. She's an orphan, which means that she doesn't have a natural family support structure. She's been raped, and she has the mental age of a 9-year-old, according to psychologists who've prepared her medical report. Yet the Supreme Court believes that she must be allowed to carry on with this pregnancy. Your thoughts?
You know, there is no black and white issue in this, Barkha. It's a very complex situation to start with. First of all, the wisdom of the Supreme Court, who they questioned, how they arrived at this and derived this conclusion is something that we don't know. But I'm sure, I hope that they have investigated and examined the veracity of what they have done and said. What disturbs me is that, A, the young lady was supposed to be in custody of care, of state care, where she was supposed to be looked after, and her rights were in guardianship of the state. Those were violated. The men who have violated her every right are only going to be prosecuted. Maybe at the taxpayers' money they're going to serve a sentence, eat well, because they have rights, you see, in the jail and custody.
Do you believe the whole issue of rape has somewhere got subsumed in this larger debate?
Yes, we've victimized a victim several times over. She's a victim in several issues, several fronts. She's already victimized. And now we say in our collective judgment that, yes, she should go ahead and have a child. We are no one really to take that decision. I do believe it is a landmark decision that the judiciary for once has shown a sensitivity towards an issue of inclusiveness.
But you agree with the judgment?
No. I have reservations about the judgment.
Okay.
There is a certain area and space that we respect that. But I'm asking the judiciary, why is it that the men are not made accountable? The men who raped this girl,
no, but what would you like to see them doing?
I would like to see that the judiciary make sure they earn and contribute towards the welfare of that child.
But isn't that dangerous?
How come the child just gets away with the man gets away with it?
But Renuka, isn't that in a sense dangerous? Because there have been cases in the past where rapists are asked to marry the women they raped.
No, I don't believe in marriage.
Here you're talking about the rapist as a potential father.
No, not as a potential father, but as a man who will be made accountable and responsible for his irresponsible act.
Okay.
How does he just rape and get away with it? And then he has rights sitting in jail. He's going to be fed on the taxpayers' money. He serves a sentence and then he comes out again. How many judgments have we had where these men are free? Acid attacks, rapes, violation of every right of women, and they're back out on the streets to target the next woman.
Let's park that thought, because
the rape has not been addressed.
That's right. The rape has barely been spoken about in this debate, almost forgotten in the larger issue, which is as complex, about a mentally challenged woman.
Tubar.com,